Hey everyone, it's Wyduck here again, this time with Game 1 of a Best of 5 series from the recent Kaspersky Arena September 2013 edition. And this time on Whirlwind, we've got spawning in the bottom left as the blue Zerg representing Team Liquid. We've got the little one. And the little one, his opponent, spawning in the top right as the red Terran, we've got Kaup. Now in the previous series, the little one was able to defeat Happy somewhat easily. He took the last 3 games in that series. It didn't seem like Happy could get a beat on TLO's play. And eventually TLO just overwhelmed them. We'll have to see if Kaup in this TVZ series can do a little bit better. So Kaup is going to be opening up with a supply depot at that ramp. I do prefer this play. As I said before, some players like to put that supply depot really close to the command center, but I'm a really big proponent of blocking off that ramp. So I think putting that supply depot at that ramp is a better play, even though you do lose a few seconds of mining time from that SCV that will be coming out, because generally your supply blocked just a little bit before that supply depot is finished. But that extra few seconds of mineral mining time I don't think is really worth it to block off the ramp here. Now TL is going to be going for the hatchery at his natural, and we also have the 14cc on the high ground from Kaup. So it looks like Kaup is going to be trying to push for a macro style game here. And I like the fact that he did go for the CC on the high ground instead of the low ground, because it helps finish off the block off at the ramp. If a drone did come by, TLO is not going to be able to scout whether or not Kaup has any refineries. And that can be really vital and crucial, because if you know he has refineries, then you can speculate he might be going for early factory or maybe going for Reapers. But once you block this off, TLO would be completely in the dark about what the Terran player would be doing. So I really am a big proponent of the CC on the high ground. I think it's much better than risking it on the low ground and the drone picking away at that SCV. I've seen it too many times where the Terran player puts on the low ground and the drone is there just picking away at that SCV, and it really delays that command center finishing. So we do have TLO. His hatchery is up. The command center is finished for Kaup as well. We have Marines on the way. So both players are beginning to stabilize on 2 bases. We don't have any Zerglings out for TLO. And this is a little bit interesting. He is able to spot that SCV. I'm sorry, he does have 2 Zerglings out. This SCV is going to get a full scout out. And this is crucial because Kaup now knows there are no extractors out. So early map control is basically conceded to Kaup if he builds factories for some Hellions. And when Hellions have map control, they can do a lot of damage. They can poke around. They can cause a lot of pain and suffering, especially in those drone lines, by just driving around the map, poking away at drones. Or at least damaging a lot of that creep spread. We do have the first creep tumors coming out for TLO. I like the fact that TLO likes to put down a lot of creep tumors. And I think that's vital, especially on this map, because Whirlwind is such a large map. To get your forces back and forth, I think having a lot of creep tumors is very, very good. But as I was saying before, even if Hellions can't get in here to do some economic damage, at least they can be used to destroy creep tumors to delay the creep spread as much as possible. Otherwise, if you let the creep spread just get totally out of hand, then TLO will have basically a lot of map vision, and that does not bode well for any opponent. And the first 2 Hellions look like they are going to be coming out. There we go. The first 2 Hellions are out. Kaup is finishing his wall in as well. We do have stim pack started for Kaup, as well as the 3rd hatchery for TLO at the 6.5 minute mark. So TL wants that economic advantage. And Kaup is going to be able to control the Zelnaga Tower in the middle of the map. And on Whirlwind, It's really important to control this center Xel'Naga tower, especially in cross-spawn positions, because to go to your opponent's base, you generally waltz through the middle of the map here. So having control of the Xel'Naga tower can play an important role in this game. Now, Zergling speed is about 65% complete. And once Zergling speed is complete, these Hellions are going to have a very difficult time controlling the map, because Zerglings with Zergling speed are faster than Hellions. So Kaup needs to make something happen with these Hellions, I feel, before the Zergling speed is completed. It's almost finished, just a few mere seconds, and it will be complete. And Kaup hasn't really killed any creep tumors. He hasn't killed any drones. He's only picked off 2 Zerglings. Okay, make that 3. That run by was not very successful by that Zergling. And I don't think these Hellions have really done very much. I don't think building these Hellions really helped at all, because if you're not going to kill any drones and you're not going to pick off any creep tumors or cause any harassment for the Zerg player, then that's kind of 600 resources that were kind of used but not really utilized. So I think this is very unfortunate for Kaup. It's great for TLO, obviously, if he's able to delay the usage of these Hellions. These Hellions, unfortunately, like I said, they're just roaming around the map looking for Zerglings, it looks like. We'll be able to find a few, but like I said, Zerglings are faster than Hellions with Zergling speed upgrades. But at least Kaup will be getting his third base up and operating. He is transferring SUVs currently, and he's building a whole bunch of Marines, as well as 2 more barracks. And he's going to be starting the wall off at his third base, using these rocks as an additional wall off point. And that's what's so cool about this third base, because half of this ramp is blocked off by these destructible rocks. There's lots of plants on these rocks. I didn't notice that before. I guess I'm not that observant. But they are there. Now, it looks like Kaup is going to be moving across the map, but he needs to pay attention. He hasn't really scouted TLO's base, and he doesn't know that the Spire is complete. In fact, his vision is fairly limited. He only sees the 3 hatcheries. And once those Mutalisks do pop out, I think Kaup might have some problems. He doesn't have that many missile turrets. He has 1 in each base, so that's better than none. But once, 10 or 12 Mutalisks come knocking at your door, 1 missile turret is not going to work. Now, the Mutalisks have been revealed in the center of the map. The Marines are stepping in to engage. That Mutalisk is going to be destroyed. TLO not controlling his Mutalisks. 2 were picked off for the low price of nothing. So Kaup does know Mutalisks are on the way. He's constructing more missile turrets as I am speaking. And Kaup is moving out to the middle map. He is putting down scans to clean up a whole bunch of this purple creep spread. And TLL's creep is going to recess just a little bit, but the Zerglings are moving in for a hit on the missile turrets. Great move by TLO, attacking the third base. The Marines are stepping in here, able to pick off a lot of those Zerglings. The Zergling force will be destroyed, but 2 of those missile turrets will be sacrificed. And Kaup is moving into the third base of TLO, and it looks like he's been able to find out about that 4th base as well, but the Zerglings are going to be able to chase away these Hellions, especially on creep. They are just so quick. The Banelings are behind this horde of Zerglings, and the Marines are trying to stem away, as well as the boosting medevacs, but the Zerglings are going to be able to catch up, and it looks like they're going to get a pretty good surround as well, but they are going to get picked up by those medevacs, but they don't have that boost. It was used, and so Kaup is going to have to retreat into his natural. Now his third is under a heavy barrage of Zerglings and Mutalisk attacks. And it doesn't look like these SUVs are going to do very well. They are going to have to retreat. The Marines are stepping in here, but they don't have medevac support. There's only 1 medevac here, and they are going to get ripped to shreds. The Zerglings are doing substantial damage to the orbital command in conjunction with the Mutalisk, and the orbital is going to have to lift. And it looks like the Marines are coming in here as well as Widow Mines, but not great connections by that lone Widow Mine, and these fly depots are going to get picked off. And now Kaup is down by about 40 supply, so great. It was a great attack by TLO to identify, and he was able to go into that third base, because remember earlier before he sent in a small pack of Zerglings to pick off those 2 missile turrets. He knows there were no bunkers in position, and so TLO is now able to control the middle of the map. He's getting more Banelings as well, and he has his 4th base up and operating. He has a few drones now, but he will be sending more as time goes on. And it's very interesting. We got TLO spreading creep over to the bottom right side of the map. Kaup was able to detect it, but TLO is able to protect it. And look, even more creep spread around the map, going in all 3 directions with 3 active creep tumors. So TLO is really getting that creep spread everywhere on that map. And this just is going to give him such a scouting advantage over his Terran opponent. And basically, you know, creep tumors are free after the first one. So if you just keep building them after the cooldown, they're basically free. Scans, though, you know, it takes 50 energy every time, and so it takes time to replenish the scans. So this is very interesting. A great play by TLO. And that creep spread is about 40% across the map now. We're at the 14.5-minute mark. It's not great, but it's not bad either. At least Kaup was able to pick off this forming hatchery. But it looks like he's not paying attention here. All these Marines and medevacs will be destroyed, it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Lots of corpses. No survivors. And unfortunately for Kaup, the price of that hatchery is going to be a squad of Marines and that medevac. Kaup is able to stim with this small pack of Marines. They'll pick off 2 Mutalisks, so they're not a bad trade. But he is going to lose those Marines as well. Now, it looks like, once again, Kaup is trying to clean up this creep spread over here, but I don't think he's going to be that successful. And at the same time, TL is getting his 5th base up again. The hatchery is half built. Now, we do have an engagement in the middle of the map. We have 3-3 on the way from Kaup. Great Widowmine connections on those Mutalisks. And those Marines are 2-2 right now against 2-2 Zerglings. So no upgrade advantage yet. But once that 3-3 is finished, the Terran Armada will be very, very strong. 3-3 Terran Marines really, really wreak havoc on 2-2 Zerglings. So it'll be up to TLO to try and get that upgrade advantage to even, because right now TLO is just on Lair Tech, so it's going to be a while. Now, he is morphing into a Hive just as I was speaking, so 3-3 will be out soon, but we have to wait another 90 seconds before Hive is finished, before TLO even has the option to get 3-3, and by that time, 3-3 will be finished for Kaup, so Kaup will definitely have an upgrade advantage for about at least 3 minutes. Now, Kaup was able to clean up that creep spread, but there's still one active creep tumor here on the lower end of the ramp, so TLO is very, very sneaky. And he is going to be rushing in here with about 20 Mutalisks. We've got 27 Mutalisks in this composition here, but the Marines are in position. But the SCVs are going to pull out from this natural, and that Mr. goes down immediately. The SCVs are taking a lot of fire, as well as a horde of Zerglings are going to rush into this 3rd base. The Widowmine does kill a few Zerglings, but the Mutalisks are wreaking havoc in this main base. The 3-3 doesn't look like it's going to finish here. Great pickoff by TLO, not letting the 3-3 finish. I said just a moment ago that 3-3 was going to finish and Kaup was going to have a huge upgrade advantage, but no, the Mutalisks came in there just in the nick of time, and the main base and the 3rd base is under heavy pressure here. Both engineering base and the armory went down, and that 3rd base is still under attack. It has just been cleaned up by the Marines. So Kaup, I think, is really reeling here, even though the supplies are very close. Losing that upgrade advantage is going to be a big, big deal, I think, because now he has to rebuild those engineering bays. There we go. He has to start up 3-3 once again. And that's going to be tough for Kaup, but Kaup is going to take his revenge on this newly formed 5th base from TLO. We got one Spine Crawler here, but I don't think it's going to do very well against a whole bunch of Stim Marines and a medevac. And that Spine Crawler is going to fall. This hatchery is going to fall as well. But TLO is still pushing. He's got a lot of units. He's got a lot of Mutalisks at that 3rd base. But the Mutalisks are going to retract themselves. It looks like they might want to reinforce this position and try and pick off these Marines and this medevac. And they're making a beeline straight there. So this small pack of Marines and this medevac will be picked off. But that hatchery does go down. But remember, TLO does have another hatchery up here, so he still has 5 bases. So he's still up 1 base compared to his Terran opponent, who only has 4. And it looks like these Mutalisks are going back for another flyby attack. We've got 31 now. And actually, this is interesting. TLO is getting his 3-3 upgrades before Kaup is going to get them. The Widowmine's getting good connections, able to pick off a few Mutalisks, and now the Mutalisks are damaged. They are going to have to retreat to regenerate. But in Heart of the Swarm, these Mutalisks do regenerate very quickly. So they will be back to full life very soon. So Kaup is moving across the map. Supplies are fairly even. He has started 3-3 to get it back in action. But like I said, losing that 3-3 upgrade just at the last few moments before they would have finished is a big blow against our Terran player. But Kaup is going to drop at this 5th base. The drones were just transferring, and now they're going to get targeted down by all these Marines. And the Marines are going to be able to kill a lot of drones, 46 in total, but at the same time, we have a huge Mutalisk attack at this 4th base. It was a planetary fortress. The command center goes down as well, and Kaup is moving across the map. So we've got action on all sides of the map. And it looks like this 5th base of TLO is going to be finished, as well as this newly formed hatchery as well. So Kaup is able to take down 2 hatcheries for 1 base. But I still feel Kaup is behind, and the Mutalisks are going to go for another counterattack at this 3rd base. The SCVs have already retreated. They've conceded the territory, and this orbital command is not going to survive. Neither is this hatchery up here. But I feel like even though Kaup has done a lot of economic damage, I think that TLO has done more. If you take a look at resources, Kaup is really hurting for resources. And TLO has formed a secret ninja hatchery at the top left as well. So even though Kaup has done a lot of economic damage, I don't think he's done enough because he's lost a lot of bases of his own. And Kaup is going to make his way into this 4th base. Widow Mines get great connections from the low ground. I haven't seen this play in a long time. A lot of Banelings do go down, but the Banelings are rolling in. Great connection on those Marines, but we still have a healthy amount of Marines in here, as well as the Medevacs and Widow Mines. But the problem is Kaup going to be able to reinforce his position if this army is dispatched with. Now, the Spine Crawler is going to go down, as well as this Macro Hat. So Kaup is making all these Marines and Marauders worth every single penny. He's going to target down this hatchery, and the Banelings are going to roll in here, getting great connections. No splits from the Marines. The Widow Mines are going to burrow. But unfortunately, their cooldown timer is not able to get another shot off, and now we just have so many Mutalisks left. The supplies are about double for TLO. We still got 31 Mutalisks on the map, and I don't think Kaup is going to be able to recover. He's moving his main base orbital command to his 3rd base, trying to get some more minerals up. His natural is almost mined out as well, and it looks like he's going to be lifting a command center to a possible 4th base, so he can get 2 bases up and running simultaneously. But it's going to be very difficult for him to defend. He has very few Marines, very few Marauders, and these Mutalisks are just so fast, and they've got +3 attacks as well. We've also got Ultralisk on the way for TLO. This does not bode well for Kaup. And with 31 Mutalisks, they're just going to fly directly in here. Now, the Stim Marines are able to do a lot of damage, and so it looks like TLO is going to think better of it. He is going to retract just temporarily. Resources lost is in favor, actually, of our Terran player, but he's so far behind economically. And look, now his 3rd base is under attack. The Marines are caught out of position. They're protecting the other base, and this orbital is going to fall. Even with all the SCVs repairing, the SCVs are going to fall first. Oh, at least Kaup was able to protect his orbital command, but look at these Stim Marines with only 2 Medevacs. It's going to be difficult to heal. And now TL is striking the heart of the production core of Kaup's army. And these Marines are fighting valiantly. Unfortunately, these Mutalisks are just so fast, taking down all those tech labs. And now these barracks are very, very lonely. They don't have very many add-ons. The Mutalisks are falling from the sky. Look at all these Mutalisks entrails, excuse me. But it looks like this orbital command is going to be under attack again. These Mutalisks are just barging in here, just stampeding head-on. They don't even care that the Marines are trying to destroy them. The Zerglings are not able to deal with all the Marines. Finally, the Marines have been dispatched, protecting that base. And we still have 19 Mutalisks in this army, so TLO doesn't have to be exactly cost-efficient. He just has so many more resources to spend than his Terran opponent. And TLO is just wreaking havoc on the main base. The Marines are playing hide-and-go-seek, picking off a few Mutalisks here and there. But we still have 14 in this composition. And with so many Ultralisks on the way, this tech switch is going to be very devastating to Kaup. He doesn't have that many Marauders. And like I said, all the add-ons have been destroyed from these 5 barracks as well. And Kaup only has 1 mining base, while TL has 2 up and running. And TL is going to harass this last mining base of Kaup. The Widow Mine is able to pick off 1 Mutalisk. and another one has been destroyed, but now these Mulas are going to be able to go to town on these SCVs and feast on them. And now with all these Ultralisks, these Marines are not going to be able to hold up. That's a great Baneling connection. The Marines are stimming and running away. Unfortunately, there's just too many Mutalisks flanking, and Kaup is going to have to tap out. So TLO is going to win game 1 very decisively, just keeping Kaup on 3 or 4 bases constantly the entire game. Very similar to the previous series where he was taking on Happy. So TLO's strategy has been to be patient and to starve the opponent of resources, and it's worked out fairly well. So I'll have to check out game 2 to see if Kaup can adapt.